or not, we run, skip with the flow. Feeling the rhythm, the bounce, remind me. Wacha kulala, changamka kiasi, haya basi. Up and away we go. From the bottom we rise. Look at the light in our eyes. See it, believe it, I see no lies. Fast though. Ready or not, we run, skip with the flow. Feeling the rhythm, the bounce, remind me. Wacha kulala, changamka kiasi, haya basi. Up and away we go. From the bottom we rise. Look at the light in our eyes. See it, believe it, I see no lies. Fast though. Ready or not, we run, skip with the flow. Feeling the rhythm, the bounce, remind me. Wacha kulala, changamka kiasi, haya basi. Up and away we go. From the bottom we rise. Look at the light in our eyes. See it, believe it, I see no lies. Fast though. Ready or not, we run, skip with the flow. Feeling the rhythm, the bounce, remind me. Wacha kulala, changamka kiasi, haya basi. Up and away we go. From the bottom we rise. Look at the light in our eyes. See it, believe it, I see no lies. Fast though. Ready or not, we run, skip with the flow. Feeling the rhythm, the bounce, remind me. Wacha kulala, changamka kiasi, haya basi. Up and away we go. From the bottom we rise. Look at the light in our eyes. See it, believe it, I see no lies. Fast though. Ready or not, we run, skip with the flow. Feeling the rhythm, the bounce, remind me. Wacha kulala, changamka. Ready or not, we run, skip with the flow. Feeling the rhythm, the bounce, remind me. Wacha kulala, changamka kiasi, haya basi. Up and away we go. From the bottom we rise. Look at the light in our eyes. See it, believe it, I see no lies. Fast though.
Um, Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Xpacers session. Today, we're going to be talking about AI in UX research. My name is Linda Nsubuga. I'm a researcher at Marathon XP, and I will be taking you through this session. So, to start off with, we're going to start by understanding what is AI. And let's say you had a personal assistant, and the personal assistant. Can you see? Okay. Sorry, let me start again. We're going to start by understanding what is AI. And let's say you had a personal assistant, and this personal assistant learns and adapts to your behaviors and to your personality, and is able to do this from all the information they get from working with you, from the day they start to the day they finish, and all this they do while they keep getting from the information that you give them, what you tell them, your likes, your dislikes. And from this, they're even able to make decisions based on this information that you give them. So now let's think of AI as a superhuman version of the PA. Now, let's say the AI is able to learn, adapt, and make decisions just like a human would, But the only difference is the AI is able to do this much, much faster, if I would say at lightning speed, but while handling massive amounts of information. And with the growth of AI systems have been specialized to perform these specific tasks, perform specific tasks based on the different industries or sectors that they're being used in. So one of these industries is in finance and banking, and AI is currently being used in the finance and banking sector for analyzing transactional data. It's also being used in chatbots when customers request for information from their bank. We have AI virtual assistants that are assisting with this. Some of them even help with come up with solutions when a customer has an issue. And for this example, we're going to take into consideration how AI analyzes transactional data for a bank. A good example is in JP Morgan and Chase, AIs are used to analyze transactional data to either detect to detect fraudulent activities that can help them either notify the clients or the customers of these accounts. So let's take, for example, a credit card user. The AI has been analyzing how they use their card, where they shop, the things they buy. So let's say the credit card information is stolen. The AI is able to analyze this data and see that, let's say, this credit card is being used in short periods of time at different stores that maybe this user does not frequent, or it's being used too sporadically. So the AI is able to detect this as a possible fraudulent activity and is able to use this to notify, it sends a notification and the bank is able to contact the customer and request them and see whether they're the ones using the card, or the card needs to be blocked, or they've decided to go on a shopping spree and this is just them, so there's no need. So this is one way that AI is being utilized in the finance and banking sector. We also have AI being utilized in the healthcare industry. And in healthcare, AI comes in for organizing patient records. AI comes in image scanning. And a good example of this is in the Massachusetts General Hospital, where they recently implemented a diabetic retinopathy screening program, where patients during a routine eye checkup, the AI is able to scan the images that are being taken during this eye checkup, and are able to, with high sensitivity, scan the images and detect whether a patient is at risk of diabetic retinopathy, or if they are at early stages of this disease, mid stages, or if it's acute. And with this, the AI is even able to prioritize on the evaluation program the hospital can take, and also the treatment methods that can be implemented by the hospital. And they're also able to schedule follow-up visits for these patients. Another way that AI is coming in a different industry is through transport and logistics. And in transport and logistics, AI is being used in fleet management and logistic management. And a good example is a Kenyan startup called Leta. Letter assists businesses and individuals with their parcel deliveries, transport, and logistics management. And it does this through their online digital platform, where it analyzes traffic data, weather conditions, and also the best route that can be used for deliveries. And Letter works with companies such as Pizza Inn, Good Life Pharmacy, and Twigger Foods. So the next time you order a pizza and it reaches to you in record time, especially right now when we're having really interesting weather. Sometimes, some days there's a lot of rain. Today it's not rained heavily, and you order pizza and it gets to your doorstep within a record time. Remember that AI was used to enhance that experience such that you did not wait for too long to get your delivery. And as much as AI has been growing in different sectors, AI is also growing to be used in the research field. And in research, AI has come in in different ways. We have AI being used to analyze very large data sets in interviews. We have AI coming in to look at behavioral patterns. We have AI being used to as a predictive measure for certain companies. And some of the common ways AI is being used, I'm going to talk about the first one, is in data analysis. And in data analysis, AI is being utilized to go through large data sets, as I've said, to analyze customer interviews, customer feedback, if it's so on a social platform. It's also being used to identify patterns, identify behaviors of people who are using certain products or services. And a good example of a company that is utilizing AI in their data analysis is Spotify. So Spotify uses AI to go through the vast amount of data that they have from their users. And the first step it does, it cleans up this data it cleans up the data of the kind of playlists people are creating, the kind of music people are listening to, what you like, what you dislike, what your let's say I've spoken about the playlist that one is creating. And before it can use all this information to recommend the songs or artists to you, it goes through this cleanup process, and then it actually analyzes now the behavior of the people who are using the platform. What kind of artists are people listening to? What kind of music are people playing? What playlists are people mostly creating? And then from this, it's able to detect a pattern. Let's say it notices that people who listen to classical music often also like other artists who are not in the classical music sector. If it's a rock person, maybe they like other artists too. It also picks up on maybe many people like creating workout playlists every Monday, and on Friday it changes to people who are upbeat because we're heading into a weekend. They're listening to upbeat songs that can give them psych for that weekend. So Spotify uses AI to go through all this data, and then it uses this to now recommend songs that you may like. It uses this to recommend artists that fit to the kind of genre you're listening to the kind of maybe even beats you're listening to. And from this prediction, it makes you feel like the experience is more personalized. It's more tailored to your likes and to what you prefer. And you can even see this with the introduction of the AI DJ. The AI DJ has come in, and if you've used it, you'll notice that it plays songs that you've been listening to. And even if it introduces a new song, it's something that you'd probably like. It's probably in the same kind of genre that you've been listening to. And that is how Spotify utilizes AI to enhance the to enhance their users' experience. Apart from data analysis, AI is also being utilized by researchers in refining their instruments, and it does this by aligning their instruments to the target market, the target customers, target participants, sorry, their target participants, the objectives that they have for the study. It also uses this by when you upload, let's say you upload your research questions into an AI, it helps you modify, remove redundant questions, make modifications, and suggest how maybe you can reward the instrument so that it's easily understood by your participants. And there are some survey companies, research companies out here that are utilizing AI to do this. There's SurveyMonkey and Qualtrics. And they use this they've even gone a step further as to offer AI that can translate your instrument into different languages, which means you can access even more culturally diverse participants. They've also come in to use AI in the same way that modifies your instruments to make them better. As I've said, they also use it to align to your research objectives. So if you're using maybe SurveyMonkey, you'll notice that they offer such tools on their platforms. Another way AI is coming in the UX research field is through transcribing of interviews. Researchers can now utilize AI when they're conducting interviews to automatically transcribe their interviews. And this frees up the researchers' time to actually focus on more nonverbal cues that they could pick up from the interviewee. There are so many AIs that offer this service. And the first one is could be Otter AI that offers automated transcription. That means you can use it as you conduct your interview. You just place it on the table, let it roll, and as you conduct your interview, it actually turns speech to text. And another one is Rev AI. And this goes a step further to actually bring in speaker identification. Well, it won't really pick out and say Linda spoke at this time and someone else said this, but it will target it in a way that shows speaker one, speaker two. And this is helpful when you're trying to pick out certain maybe quotes that were said, or certain, if a participant said something and you need to pick it out from the transcribed information, you'll just figure that this was speaker so and so that was saying this. AI transcription has gone as far as even enabling researchers to pick out keywords from the transcribed data. There are AIs that you can set to actually pick out these keywords. And this is particularly important when you have a new product and you want to pick up on sentiments. Maybe you want to hear what people are saying about your new product. If they said such and words as maybe it was excellent, it was exciting. This AI transcription services can actually offer this, and this comes in when you're using this Otter AI or Rev AI. And as great as this, as much as this, I'm only going to speak about these three common ways that AI is being utilized in research. But as AI continues to grow in this field, there are some upcoming ways that AI is currently being utilized, further than just data analysis, further than transcribing interviews and refining instruments. And one of those ways is through use of AI for as a biometric technology for emotion detection. And this is where AIs are used to read human emotion as they go through a website or an application to see where certain design elements could evoke emotions of joy, of frustration, of anger, or confusion as they go through a website that's just been designed. And we have companies such as iMotions or Emotion that have come up to offer design researchers tools that can help them in this with the help of AI that can track and assess your facial expressions and your gestures to be able to pick up on these points where you're feeling or you're showing frustration as you go through the design elements that have been input in a website. And this can help even researchers as you go through this and you get this data back and you've noticed that, a certain user was feeling frustrated at this point. You can even follow up and ask them specifically at that point why they were angry, why they were confused, what made that part confusing, what made a certain part frustrating. And this can go back to an iterative session where they make changes and then bring it back to the users to test and see if they can help ease that frustration or ease that confusion. And another way AI is being seen to come up to help researchers is through autonomous interviewing. And this is where a computer is able to conduct interviews without the human intervention, without direct human intervention, if I'd say. And a study conducted by a researcher called Gail Lucas on interaction between humans and computers actually showed that some humans preferred to speak to an AI rather than speak to a human in topics that they felt that they would be judged. let's say they were talking about either their mental health or addiction, feel things that they feel that a human is more likely to judge them. They felt like they could answer questions more truthfully to an AI or a computer, uh, because it will be free from judgment rather than a person who would judge them for their answers. So they are more likely to lie to a human and tell the truth to an AI when they were asked these questions. And as much as AI is growing and AI is great and it's enhancing the work of researchers, we should remember that AI isn't perfect and it does have its limitations. And some of the AI isn't free of any bias. It has its own challenges when we use it, and we should be aware of these challenges as we use it to enhance our work. And one of the first challenge that AI is that AI can't detect or understand social nuances or human behavior. AI isn't able to detect sarcasm, humor, or any cultural nuances that a person may pose. And a very good example is if you're using AI to analyze, let's say, customer feedback, and you have all this data that is going through AI, you could find that someone says great service as always. They probably said this sarcastically, and AI might pick it up as someone being extremely happy with the service that they received. And in real sense, it really isn't. They're frustrated, they're not happy, they're just being sarcastic about what they had. And this shows that AI can't really pick up on this. And this is where human intervention, you work with the AI to assist you, and you should always be aware that it can't detect such social nuances or human behavior that could come with sarcasm or humor. Another limitation of AI is that AI doesn't understand the context of your research. Let's say you're using AI to come up with solutions or recommendations from interviews that have been conducted or findings that you have, and from this research that you've conducted, you have a place where a customer or a user stated that it was hard, the navigation was hard, and as a researcher, since you conducted the interview, you probably went further and found out why the navigation was hard. But with the data coming in through maybe the AI might probably give very vague recommendations based on that statement that navigation was hard. It might just give a recommendation that states simplify navigation, which really doesn't help UX designers when they are redesigning or redesigning a website or a platform based on this research data. It doesn't help them make actionable steps towards simplifying this navigation. It doesn't show them why it was hard for them to maybe perform a certain task. And this is why AI still needs a lot of human input to lead to a deeper understanding of why we're coming up with a certain recommendation. It's just not vague of simplify the navigation. It's more on what are we simplifying? What will make it easier for the user, not just simplify the navigation. And this is why, as we use AI, we should always remember that it's operating on data that it's been trained on. And so, as this information is coming in, if it's vague information, it's just going to give vague output. So that's the second limitation that we have from on AI use. And another limitation is that AI doesn't provide reliable unbiased solutions. Again, AI operates on data that it has been trained on. And let's say you have AI that's been trained on data that either overrepresents a certain demographic or underrepresents it. So let's say you have AI that's maybe been trained on data that was based on youth who live in urban areas, and you conducted a research that is highly diverse, that had everyone, the old, the young, people living in low income areas, people living in the rural areas. When you're using AI to come up with recommendations or solutions, it's more likely to base the recommendations to favor the young who are living in these urban areas. And so we must remember that with AI and all its limitations, and all its limitations, it still needs a lot of human intervention. As much as we are using it to enhance our, as we use it to enhance our work, these are things that we have to remember. And AI has come in to help researchers in conducting their research a lot, and that is why as you work with AI, you have to remember that AI is here only as an assistant. It should be used to enhance your work and not overly rely on it to do the work for you. You should let AI perform the tasks that is good at, such as analyzing large data sets, but also still keeping a keen eye that you know better than the AI, and that you are you're at a better position since you understand the kind of research that you did and the kind of the target that you had and your research objective. You're better placed to have a deeper understanding of the research and come up with better recommendations or solutions. The AI is just here to enhance our work. And as I conclude, I'd like you to remember just 3 points from my whole presentation. The first is that think of AI as an intern or an assistant that understands your work and aligns to your research style. It's just here to assist you as you do your work. Be careful to always be sure to always cross check the work. Don't let it do all the work and use it just that to present. It's your assistant, and as you check your assistant's work, is the same way you should always check the AI's work. Another thing is that AI offers significant benefits, but it has limitations. As I've mentioned, AI can be biased. AI really doesn't understand the context of your research. You do know best, and AI is doesn't understand human behavior or social nuances that might be used during the from that might be used by participants that you're interviewing or customer feedback that has been given. And also use AI as a tool to enhance and not replace your human capabilities. As I stated, as the researcher, you know best. You're able to deeply understand the research that you're doing. You conducted the study, and AI shouldn't replace your capabilities because you're the expert. Um, Thank you so much for joining our webinar. I hope you learned something, and I hope this encourages all of you to use AI responsibly in all your work. And yes, thank you for joining.
The flow, feeling the rhythm, the bounce, jamani, wacha kulala, changamka kiasi, haya basi, up and away we go, from the bottom we rise, look at the light in our eyes, see it, believe it, I see no lies, fast, slow. Ready or not, we run, skip with the flow, feeling the rhythm, the bounce, jamani, wacha kulala, changamka kiasi, haya basi, up and away we go, from the bottom we rise, look at the light in our eyes, see it, believe it, I see no lies, fast, slow. Ready or not, we run, skip with the flow, feeling the rhythm, the bounce, jamani, wacha kulala, changamka kiasi, haya basi, up and away we go, from the bottom we rise, look at the light in